live on Kasi TV, and this is Weekly Retro with me, Salina Ikia. Abuajari streaming to you live from our studios inside the Suburban Richard Street. You can join us on our social media handles at Kasi Television. And coming up, President Nana Akufo-Addo on Tuesday inaugurated the first phase of the Obichebi-Lamte interchange in Accra 11 months after he had cut short for work to begin. We'll bring you details of that story as the Electoral Commission has published a list of individuals who vote on Tuesday, December 1 as a result of their duties on election day. And in business, the National Board for Small-Scale Industries has so far registered about 3,000 traders whose shops were destroyed by fire at the Odona Market. To bring you details of these stories and many others right after this, please do stay. And now to our main bulletin. The Electoral Commission has published a list of individuals who will vote on Tuesday, December 1 as a result of their duties on the election day. The special voting list covers security, media personnel, and election officials who will be unable to vote at the polling station where they registered on December 7. The result of the special voting, which is only allowed for general elections, will however not be declared until after the election has been generalized. The compilation of the special voting list began on October 2, 2020 and was concluded on Thursday, October 15, 2020. Meanwhile, out of the 660,181 registered voters in the Upper East region, a total of 5,947 voters will take part in the 2020 special voting on Tuesday, December 1. They include the election officials, security agencies, and the media practitioners who will be working on December 7. And the publication of the full 2020 voters register in the cloud with link to the website of the Electoral Commission ahead of the December 7 polls has generated public discussion, with some arguing that it breaches the data protection law. Now, some members of the public have expressed concern over potential insecurity and publication of voters' details could entail. But speaking at a training workshop for journalists organized by the Ghana Journalists Association on Thursday, November 24, 2020, the chairperson of the EC, Mrs. Jen Mensah, said the register, which has since been removed, will be published after the system has been embedded with enhanced security features. And still on election, 9 days to election, 123 parliamentary candidates are vying for the 34 parliamentary seats in the Greater Accra region. The New Patriotic Party and the National Democratic Congress are contesting in each of the 34 constituencies. The Ghana Union Movement contesting for 15 seats, Convention People's Party for 8 seats, the People's National Convention for 6 seats, and the National Democratic Party for 6 seats. Others are the Liberal Party of Ghana 6, the Progressive People's Party contesting for 2, All People's Congress 1, and some independent candidates as well. According to the electoral statistics obtained in 10 of the constituencies, Botiano Ingleshi, Shia Osudoku, Seje, Ashayimantema Central, Ablekuma South, Okainkwe South, Okainkwe Central, Ayawasu North, and Ayawasu East, only the NPP and the NDC are contesting. 8 constituencies: Trobo, Domekwa Benya, Ayawasu Central, Ayawasu West Wagon, Ablekuma Central, Lade Dikotopon, Pon Katamanso, and the Ningo Pram have the presence of the independent candidates. The 34 constituencies in the Greater Accra region are Ablekuma Central, Ablekuma North, Ablekuma West, Ablekuma South, Ada, Adenta, Amasaman, Ayanso Utium, Ashaiman, Ayawasu East, Ayawasu North, Ayawasu Central, and Ayawasu West Wagon. Others are Botiano Ingleshi, Domekwa Benya, Domi Abraham Boom, Kole Kloto, Klowo, Pon Katamanso, La Nkwantanan, Madina, La Dedikotopon, Le Jokuku, Ningo Pram, Ododio, Okwankwe Central, Okwankwe North, Okwankwe South, Shai Osudoko, Segje, Tema East, Tema West, Tema Central, Chubo, and the Wejagbawe. Meanwhile, 4 journalists are among the 123 candidates in the Greater Accra region vying the scripts their way in Parliament. And President Nana Akufo-Addo on Tuesday inaugurated the first phase of the Obiche-Bilamte interchange in Accra 11 months after he had cut short for work to begin. The project, which was completed 5 months ahead of schedule, involved the construction of 2-meter viaducts and ramps between the Graphic Road and the Dr. Buzia Highway. There is also a box culvert across the Graphic Road and a storm drain up to the Ring Road West carriage. The storm drain, which will help address the flooding challenges experienced at the previous Obiche-Bilamte circle, will continue on up to the Pamprom Junction under phase 2 of the project.
The completion of phase 1 will enable the contractor, Messrs. Quiros Galval, UK International, to begin work on phase 2 immediately after this commissioning ceremony. Today's event is further testimony to government's determination to address the issues. The completion of phase 1 of the Obiche-Bilamte interchange shows the seriousness that my government attaches towards addressing the congestion within some of the major cities of our country. Currently, the following interchanges are under construction throughout the country. Pokwasi Interchange, which is the first 4-tier interchange in West Africa, is 85% complete, and sections of the interchange will be open to traffic this very week. Tamale Interchange, which is the first interchange in northern Ghana, is 54% complete and is on course to be completed by the first quarter of 2021. PTC Roundabout Interchange in Takrady, which is the first interchange in the western part of the country, is progressing steadily. Nungua Interchange, which is part of the La Beach Road completion project, is also progressing steadily. And Tema Motorway Interchange Phase 1, which has been completed and is already in use by motorists, with work on the second phase of the interchange starting soon. This is the first time in our nation's history that more than 5 interchanges are being constructed within the first term of any government. So if any more reasons to give Nana and the MPP 4 more to do more for you, This is one of them. We as a nation are on the cusp of a bold new beginning, and I urge all Ghanaians to join hands with government as we strive to bring progress and prosperity to all parts.
And to support an inclusive, safe, and transparent election 2020 in Ghana, the United Kingdom government will join the Canadian High Commission and other international parties to deploy more than 100 election observers across 7 regions on the election day on December 7. As impartial friends of Ghana, both the UK and the Canada are committed to seeing Ghana's reputation as a leader in West Africa and across Africa for holding free and fair election continuing in 2020. The Canadian High Commission has contributed observers to a number of Ghanaian elections, including those of 2012 and 2016. In collaboration with other friends of Ghana, participation in election observation has allowed the High Commission to collaborate to help ensure an inclusive, safe, transparent election process. And so on election, 6 persons believed to be supporters of the opposition National Democratic Congress have died in an accident at Frante in the Ejura State Chiduamase municipality of the Ashanti region on Saturday, 21st of November 2020. About 50 others are said to have also sustained various degrees of injuries in the crash. According to reports, the supporters were traveling to Ejura to meet the party's flag bearer, John Mahama, who is on a campaign tour in the region. The accident reportedly happened when the bus conveying the supporters was crossed by a motorcycle, resulting in the driver losing control of the track. The deceased have been conveyed to Ejura Government Hospital morgue, while the badly injured are receiving treatment. Meanwhile, an entourage led by the flag bearer of the opposition National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, says the party will foot the medical bills of persons who were injured in a gory accident at Infante in the Ashanti region.
And this car mutimu bana urade. Ye nipa na gu form say yo urade. And this car ba ye my God urade nipa mra me boa omo. Nipa mra me boa. Ye.
Was involved in an accident. That's what happened.
When were they moving from?
Well, they were moving from a place saying that there was a pothole. And the driver decided to try to swerve.
When Kabuka was sent to France, some people from there to come for the rally down at Tigras Chigumasi. And it was unfortunate when the car moved about 200 meters or 300 meters. There was a pothole there, so the driver was trying to dodge the potholes, and then incidentally, the weight of the people in the cargo car overweighed the lorry, and then he just got down.
But we didn't know the full details, and so as we got closer, we were speaking to the local executive, and they said that some members of one of our branches who were coming to join the rally to see me, had an accident, and so when we get to Ejura, they've arranged for us to go straight to the hospital and see the injured.
And those watching us, you can see on your screens as we speak and hear our president the images of his visit to the hospital. You can continue watching your interaction with the doctors and those who were taking care of the injured.
So when we got to Ejura, went straight to the hospital and we met Dr. Mensah, very fantastic medical doctor. And he and his staff were doing a great job. They had mobilized all their staff and they were attending to the injured. 6 had died and 54 were injured. And so the medical personnel were attending to all of them. Some had fractures, others had lacerations, and so they were stitching, some, cleaning the wounds and treating them. They did a very good job. I want to publicly commend them for their dedication and their commitment to work. But it was a very terrible scene. There was blood everywhere. People were bleeding. There was blood on the floor. But I went patient to patient and comforted them. It gave them some comfort that, we came there to visit them. We also left some funds with the Member of Parliament, to take care of any medical bills that would arise as a result of what had happened. Today, our executives are going to visit the families of those who lost their lives and then see what the funeral arrangements will be. But definitely the party is going to actively support the families.
It's good to hear that you are taking care of the bills and the families are the party is showing concern by the visit you just announced. Just briefly, we have several of such people, and we are not relating this to accidents per se, but these are genuine party supporters who go all out to give you the support, follow you throughout the country. What should constituency regional executives be doing, especially identifying some of these individuals who are sacrificing so much, to the extent that we have lost some of them only yesterday?
Yeah, that's been one of the major problems we have with our political parties. Because if you go and you see the enthusiasm that these young party supporters show, the expectation is that when government is in power, we'll do something about their circumstances so that they can get employment, they can get jobs, and so on and so forth. And that's why we're coming out with a program to create 250,000 jobs a year so that we can push a lot of these young people, to find jobs, planting trees in crop processing zones and all the other fantastic ideas.
And a student from that day to senior high school in the Eastern region who obtained grade A in all 8 subjects in the 2020 WASI but comes from a deprived home is to get government scholarship to pursue tertiary education. Thomas Amweni lives in Isuaba near Adaiso, and regional arts is said to obtain excellent grades of A1 in social studies, English language, core mathematics, integrated science, economics, geography, government, and elective mathematics. Amweni in the interview narrated how he walked from Isuaba to Adaiso, a distance of about 6 kilometers on a daily basis to attend school. He said he was motivated to persevere because of his poor background. His mother narrated how Thomas, who is a second-born, would not have been able to go to SHS but for the free SHS policy. Meanwhile, the Registrar of Scholarships, Mr. Ajiman, has revealed that a major announcement from the Secretariat would be made on Tuesday, December 1, 2020. And now a truck containing Tricycle has caught fire on the highway at the Upper West region on Sunday dawn. Eyewitnesses say the truck was heading towards French when the incident occurred. But it's not clear what really caused that fire or if there were any casualties. Meanwhile, we have our correspondent Atta on the line. Hello, Atta. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my sister.
Yeah, you're welcome to Kasi TV. Can you please
Thank you very
narrate
much.
what really happened?
Yeah, thank you very much to your listeners. As you indicate earlier, my name is Ibrahim from Upper West Region.
Okay.
This incident happens, as you said earlier, to your viewers. And I was on a program when I get a call, which I quickly attend to that strange number, which I used to do. I don't care of whoever that is calling me, because I'm always ready to take any kind of calls because of the nature of the work. So when I picked that strange line, the person was giving me a sad news that if I can call the fire, the ambulance, the fire
service,
National Fire Service for the Upper West Region. And I said, what's happening? He said, along the Wa Tumu Road, after the Wa Airstrip, there is a welding shop just by your right-hand side along that road, which before you want to give a description of the place, I said, I know that place. What is happening? He said a long truck vehicle that was loaded, a full load of motorkins, which we call here Nyaba lorry. That's tricycles. It's a full loaded. And that's what it got to that spot. It's like they are having some breakage on the vehicle. So they were just standing by another welding shop and with their works so that the welder will weld the thing that broke on the vehicles and so that they will start their journey longer. I think when they're about to do the welding, it's like that's what we got, the information. Because we were not there before the fire started. But this is what the information that we gathered. After the driver and the drummates all get down, I think they were then giving the way for the welder to do his work. After he even also finished his work, before they realized something was smelling under. So they were searching for what is smelling. No, it was one of the tarpaulin that they normally used to cover the tricycles. So it was just got on fire. So immediately, because of the season, when they are about to quench with sun, before they did that, the fire exploded to the packing case that was parcel on the motorkins and then the tricycle that we are talking about. So the fire just exploded from that end, so they cannot control it. So they were dialing the number 1229, or that the headquarters line for the National Fire Service. According to the first caller, that they called the number for more than 10 times. The line was going, but they didn't pick. So after I got the call, I called the fire service straight, and I give them the information. But before they got there, I think part of the vehicle was just almost finished burning. But I was very sad and so sorry for the way the fire service men got there. When they got there, they were all doing different things altogether. That is what I observed. Because when they got there, all of them just become a masters of instruction of doing the work. So this one will go and take this water hose. This one will go and open water. So before not less than 20 minutes, their first tank fuel has finished without them doing anything.
Right.
So they have to call the regional service.
Right.
So that before the regional vehicle was coming, the fire was just something that they cannot control
Mr. Atta, were you given any specific number of trucks or tricycle that was contained in the truck?
Yes, it was over 60 tricycles that was fully loaded for a long vehicle. It's over 60.
And then they all got bent like at the same
They
at the
all
spot.
got burned, my sister, including the vehicle itself. I was very sorry because there's not time. I was not happy. Like the way the fire service did the work, it was totally just something that we, the civilian that was there, was even rather helping the fire service to do their work. But at the long run, if you look at the authorities in the Upper West region, have not looking at the expectation of giving some higher drums to some of this place. My sister, if I tell you when I ask the fire service, within the area that we are, is that any higher drum of water? They say no. Look at the airstrip, and there's no any higher drum even inside the airstrip, if really what I'm saying is true. Because according to the fire service, they may even know why the higher drums is. Because of the distance to go and take water and come back was just something that led. We were just looking at the vehicle when it was burning. The driver, mate, and other people who entered their car and remove all their gadgets, everything, and bring them down.
That's sad. But were there any injuries that were recorded?
Because of the way it started, no injury.
Okay.
No injury because it started slowly. So the driver and the driver mate was able to enter the vehicle and remove all their clothes. Even the driver went back trying to remove the head. They were trying to see whether they can remove the head and leave the tracks so it will burn. But when they did, it's like the car has a flat tire picking something on the floor, so it cannot move. So they just get down off the engine, and we were just all looking at it live, and it get burns, and the fire service cannot even help to control the fire not to burn, only the head.
Okay, before you go, did the fire service personnel say anything about the incident?
Yes, for now, you know, they will also write their reports, but I didn't get their reports yet. But this is eyewitness report that I'm giving to you. As me, myself, I was there at the latter part of the incident. The reports of the fire service may be different than what I said, but this is what I saw as eyewitness. But in technique, what comes and they came there with 2 vehicles and they are not able to do anything to save this vehicle. I'm so disappointed.
That's very, very sad.
I'm so disappointed.
That's very sad. But
so the authority out there watching Sassy TV must do something to the fire service and then do something to that.
Sure, I'm sure they will do something about that. Thank you very much, Mr. Atta, for this update. Thank you so much.
You are welcome hooking me live on Sassy TV. My name is Ibrahim Atta of our West region.
You're welcome. And that was that from Atta, our correspondent in the Upper West region, who was recently telling us about a tracker that caught fire, in a broad daylight without anybody getting injured. And now in business, the National Board for Small-Scale Industries has so far registered about 3,000 traders whose shops were destroyed by fire at the Odona market. The registration exercise, which began on Saturday, November 21, involves the collection of the details of the affected traders, including the capital they would need to restart their businesses. The executive director of NBSSI, Kosiyanke Aye, during a working visit to the Odona market to assess the extent of the damages caused by the recent fire outbreak, said the registration exercise was ongoing very well. Meanwhile, the President Nana Akufo-Addo, during a visit to the market on Wednesday, November 18, 2020, disclosed the NBSSI to make available funds to support traders who had their wares destroyed by the fire. President Akufo-Addo said the directive was to help the affected traders recover from their losses. He also indicated that the government would undertake a rewiring of all markets in the Greater Accra region to foresee such tragic occurrence in the future. And still in business, Dr. Mahmoud Baumia has commissioned an ultra-modern sports complex at the new Fadama in Accra. The sports complex, confounded by the Zongo Development Fund, saw the complete transformation of the new Fadama Park, and it has been named after the National Chief Imam, an illustrious son of the community. Addressing Zongo chiefs, imams, and thousands of people during the commissioning, Vice President Baumia said the complex was constructed and named after the Chief Imam in fulfillment of a promise to him by the President Akufo-Addo on the occasion of his 99th birthday in 2018. Baumia also highlighted Akufo-Addo's government's investments in education in Zongo communities, such as building of classroom blocks, students from Zongo to study medicine in Cuba, and government scholarship. He appealed to the people of Zongo to reward President Akufo-Addo by voting for him to give him 4 more years to continue with his good works. And now in sports, the Ghana women's senior national team on Thursday evening came from behind to beat their counterparts from Morocco 3-1 in an international friendly match. In a game played at the Accra Sports Stadium, the Atlas Lioness scored after just 5 minutes when the team was awarded with penalty kick. After several attempts, the team finally saw their efforts paying off in the 26th minute when the Faustina Treman fired in a good shot. Later in the dying minutes of the first match, Experienced defender Linda Ishon scored with a well-taken free kick to give the Ghana team the lead for the first time in the match. Playing with a numerical advantage in the second half, Ghana continued to attack and scored again in the 64th minute, courtesy of a strike from the substitute Georgina Ayom to wrap up a 3-1. The Black Queens will play with Atlas Lioness again on Monday, November 30, in another friendly match as part of preparations for the upcoming qualifiers to the next Alcon tournament.
They're pushing. They found a gap in there in the defense for the Queens. And it's the lady who just came on, Georgina Ajim, who gets the goal for Ghana.
And still in sport, Inter Alice face a difficult task to record their first win of the season against Accra Hearts of Oak on Sunday, November 29 at Accra Sports Stadium. Inter Alice have been slow starters in the Ghana Premier League but have known how to navigate their path through the Kopi waters. Their squad has not changed much from the last season. They are tried and tested players like goalkeeper Richard Seydu, Dexmon Abuga, Alex Aso in their team. Accra Hearts of Oak played their first match on Tuesday and it ended in a 2-2 draw against Ashanti Gold at Accra Sports Stadium. Coach Edward Odum felt his side deserved more than the 1 point. The Phobians have been bolstered by returnees Nuhu Sule, the centre-back, and Patrick, who was named man of the match in their last game. The output against Ash Gold was encouraging and looked like a team ready to end their 11-year await for a little title. Prediction into Alice 0-2, Accra Hearts of Oak. And now in entertainment, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture has instituted an insurance scheme for those in the creative arts industry. The scheme is to cover critical issues such as injury and other accidents in the line of duty. The scheme will be launched next month and will take off on the 1st of January next year. Sector Minister Barbara Otinjesi, speaking at the Meet the Press series in Accra, said the scheme will cover members in good standing, adding that the first-year premium will be funded by government and subsequently self-payment by members from 2020. So far, more than 54,000 members in the hospitality, clothing and textile, as well as food and beverages sector have benefited from the intervention in COVID and post-COVID era. She said that more interventions are in place to caution members. She said creative arts practitioners are not covered by any risk measures.
Most creative arts practitioners are not covered by any risk mitigation measures during critical times such as injury, ill health, or old age, and during loss of production equipment due to certain circumstances of when accidents occur. This is partly due to the fact that artists are not salaried workers, but rather ply their trade mostly on a contractual and seasonal basis. Against this backdrop, the Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is spearheading the development and introduction of a creative arts insurance scheme for the creative industry. Beneficiaries of the scheme shall be members of the creative industry who are registered with the ministry and its agencies. The Creative Arts Insurance Scheme is intended to achieve the following: to provide an insurance scheme appropriately tailored to the needs of creative artists and performers in the creative arts industry, provide life insurance or similar investment products for creative arts sector players, and also provide bespoke creative arts industry insurance products and cover for personal injury, damage, and theft. We are hopeful that this insurance scheme will be launched before the end of this year and take effect from 1st January 2021.
And on our international front, rescue operations are underway in the northern Zimbabwe, where dozens of illegal miners are believed to be trapped underground after the collapse of an old mine shaft. Mining without the proper permits has been on the rise in the gold-rich country due to high levels of joblessness and the COVID-19 lockdown. The authorities say at least 6 people have already been rescued and more than 20 others could still be trapped. Accidents caused by explosions and flooding are common in illegal mining, which is often carried out under dangerous conditions and with little regard for safety standards. Zimbabwe is rich in minerals such as platinum, diamonds, and gold. Small-scale miners account for over half of gold produced in the country. And still on international front, Donald Trump has said he will leave the White House if Joe Biden is formally confirmed as the next U.S. president. Answering reporters' questions for the first time since losing the 3 November votes, Mr. Trump insisted, however, that this race is far from over. He has refused to concede, citing claims of voter fraud. Individual states are currently certifying their results after Mr. Biden was projected as the winner with an unassailable lead. Electors will meet to formalize the results on 14th December, with Mr. Biden due to be sworn in as a president on 20th January. The president and his supporters have lodged a number of legal challenges over the election, but most have been dismissed. Earlier this week, Mr. Trump finally agreed to allow the formal transition to President-elect Biden's team to begin following several weeks of uncertainty. The decision means Mr. Biden is able to receive top security briefings and access key government officials and millions of dollars in funds as he prepares to take over on 20th January 2021.
It's going to be a very hard thing to concede because we know there was massive fraud.
Sir, just to be clear, if the Electoral College votes for Joe Biden, will you concede?
Well, if they do, they made a mistake because this election was a fraud.
And that will be all for this week's edition on Weekly Witch. For more news updates, you can log on to our social media handles at Kasi Television. My name has been Salina Ikuya Abwajua. A very big thank you to my production crew, to you who watched me, and to my makeup artist at Abby's Makeover, to my hairstylist, Afrojoy Naturals. Contact them on 0240-626279 for anything natural. See you same time next week. Have a great afternoon.